If you think about a problem you want solved, you might be able to solve it in your lucid dream, according to a Harvard study. It's kind of what happened to you, right? But the thing is, you didn't want it to happen, but it happened in your dream. Was it a lucid dream? Like, were you aware it was a dream when you were?
Yeah, because of the aesthetics of the dream. So it was like because of the angles of what I saw, from my perspective. Like I realized it wasn't that real, but what it was happening was something that was occurring during my daily basis. Yeah. So,
but like in the dream, you were aware.
Yeah, I was aware that it was.
It's so interesting.
Yeah. Have you ever had that kind of dream, a lucid dream? You're dreaming, and then you're dreaming, and then you control, like, I want to do this and I want to do that.
I think so.
I want to go to that girl.
But of course, I don't remember. I remember
in high school, I had a dream where I was going to school. And out of nowhere, there was an accident, like, involving my car, where I was, being, how do you say? Yeah, I was going to school with that car. I wasn't driving. And then, like, the accident was actually, like, the car flipped, but I got out of the window. So I flew in the air, and I posed like a superhero. I control that. I control that shit. I was like, damn.
Is this a cartoon? No, we were talking about cartoon here.
Yeah. And I remember that dream because I remember that I planned to, fall, like, still. Like, I wasn't, that I think that was the only time I remember controlling a dream.
But I think, look, not about your dream, but for example, when you have a problem, I think if you forget it, I don't know, you do something else, I really think that you can find a solution. What do you think? I mean, you were stuck in something. I don't know. If you were a student, you were stuck in a college problem there, a math problem, okay, or you were designing something, and then, hey, you know what, man, it's not working. Man, I don't know. I'm going to stop here. Some people smoke, or go drink water, just go for a walk, man. When you were doing something that you were not thinking about it, and then, boom.
Not in dreams,
but not in dreams.
But there was this one time, because I like to write poetry from time to time, and what helps me thinking is actually when I'm in the shower. Like, my ideas run wild, and that was,
nice.
In certain showers, I found, some rhyming schemes that,
it's when you're relaxed.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Flow more easily.
There was a scientific explanation that I saw about when you're in the shower and the water is going down on you. Like, chemically speaking, there is a chemical reaction that's happening. I don't know what it is, but it actually helps you think. And it's like, I don't know why, but I don't know.
It makes sense.
It does make sense. In my opinion, for me, at least, it's because when I'm relaxed, it can be in the shower, I can be playing with the dogs, doing something, maybe eating,
right,
drinking some water. I don't know what it is. But if I take my mind off the specific problem that I can't solve, like you said, like you're designing and then you're stuck in a problem. So if I stop thinking about it, overthinking, and then go do something else,
you think
then
about
all of a sudden I'm like, oh, why didn't I think of that? And then I can go and solve it.
That's actually pretty common. And not only that, but you remind me of a story of, Michael Jackson, because, he orchestrated on his mind. Like, he didn't know how to play any musical instrument, but he can hear it in his mind, the notes, right? So there was this one interview where Michael Jackson said that he was playing, like, ping pong, and then, like, out of nowhere came a musical hit, like an instrument and some lyrics. And wow. and like, he described it in a way that's like, music just comes to me. Like, I'm just like out of nowhere, and it comes to me. I think of it, and it's amazing because it happens often, and in many situations in life, in any type of career, professionally speaking, whatever. And not only that, but like, if you're like, in a personal problem, like in a relationship, and then you just think about it, you're doing something else, but you think about it, like, internally,
Yeah.
you find a solution to it.
Because in the back of your mind,
It still goes on.
there.
It still goes on.
It's like your brain is processing without you realizing.
Yeah, which is crazy. It's
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
That's what dreams do, or that's what you can do in dreams. These days that I told you guys that I was working too much every day, I dream about work too, and it's the same thing. I'm like working and like trying to find a solution in my dream, which is horrible because I don't want to dream about work, like you said. I also don't want to dream about work. Yeah. But still, like sometimes it helps. It could be helpful, you know. Yeah. And there was one time that I was climbing actually 2 years ago. It was like my first time climbing, and then I was stuck in this problem at the gym. I couldn't finish it, but in my dream, I finished it. But the thing is, I didn't go back the next day
to try it out.
To see if that was gonna work, but. Well, at least in my dream, it worked.
Like in his dream, Rogerio's 6'5" and shit.
Of course, yeah.
He had long arms and shit.
Very, yeah.